Can one hear me? Am I live? Let me just check on something. It works a little bit different on the telephone, so I don't know if I'm actually up or not. Am I up or am I not up? Well, anyway, let's proceed. Let's proceed. Shall we proceed? What we got? Brand.
This isn't what happened last week. Have you all got amnesia? They just cheated us. This isn't fair. He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car.
It's a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10.
Well, I don't think this is worth my time. In fact, I'm at work at the moment, and I'm just enjoying the evening. You know, it's good fun. It's good fun. But I just see Richie Dolan's video, and I think he's just sucking up to Beetle Babe, who's also said a negativity about this. But you know, I mean, and Matthew Street, of course, who was parodied the box set, and I actually thought that Matthew Street was being sincere at first. I thought he had received the box set because I'm not really, I'm not, I'm not really. That bothered about it. I was so uninterested in it that I haven't really looked at the box set, how much it costs, what it's got in it, because it's all becoming so predictable and shit nowadays. But what I want you all to take and bear in mind, because it's very important that I say this. Um, in 1981, I was trying to collect all of the solo Beatle albums. I'd got all the Beatles albums by 1981, but I thought I need to have the solo Beatle albums in any which way you can. So before I realised there was a market in town, which I got a lot of my solo Beatle albums from, very good condition. I also realised that um, the budget labels had started, as you might have seen in my MFP video. Budget labels had started taking control of the less successful Beatle albums, and or solo Beatle albums, and bear in mind that a lot of the stuff had been deleted by this point. Your album. Fair enough, it was Sergeant Pepper. It was never out of print. All the Beatle albums were never out of print, but a lot of the John Lennon, the Wings, a couple of the Wings ones, and George Harrison, Ringo, they'd all been deleted. Singles, albums. That's what it was like in them days. So when I saw the MFP Mind Games in the shop, and MFP, when like I said, in 1980, an MFP album would cost you 99p. A year later, it went up to 1.99. But let me tell you, in 1981, the average price of the UK single chart single was 60p, which raised up to 85p. Now, that's less than a pound, but at the same time, say you got two records, two chart singles, you could say to yourself, say you had two of these chart singles, then that's about the price of an MFP album. Now, the MFP album's got what, 10 to 12 to 14 tracks on it, a reissue or whatever. With regards to Mind Games, I didn't particularly want it, but I had a choice. I bought Rock and Roll and Mind Games, and I even sold my Mind Games for a profit because I was a bit embarrassed that the MFP was on there. But when I got skint, I sold it. But uh, what I will say about the album was when I got it, I thought, oh yeah, John Lennon, um, brilliant, yeah, okay, Mind Games. Didn't know the other songs, but they're very bland songs. They're very pointless songs. I'm going to give you a couple of examples about what you could possibly be paying. Well, say there's 12 tracks on Mind Games. So you're paying about what, 850, 850, not 800, about 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850, 850 it's about 80 quid for each fucking song. Now, I wouldn't give the shit off my underpants after a scary moment on any of those songs. Especially, I have particular hatred for two of them, and I can't tell you the name, but just hearing one of them, Masi Masa, it means I'm sorry in Japanese, which he's got wrong apparently. Now, I don't even particularly know what song that is. I'm not sure, but it could be the dreadful one that goes from Liverpool to Tokyo. Beautiful, beautiful. And I fucking hate that song. And there's another one called Free the People. Yeah. Now, when I first heard that, I thought, oh, yes, John Lennon getting back to whatever he's talking about, uh, I love black people, but I hate black people. Oh, I say kill everybody, but let's have peace. Yeah, hey, the people that run Britain are racist, but hey, give me my check and I'll come and have dinner with you. Do you know what I mean? It's such a contradiction of an album, and he's just sort of, you can feel that he's run out of um, just songwriting skills at this point. It's like I said, this Free the People, it might have been, Free the People. Ha 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 ha. It's so fucking funny, John Lennon. What a great sense of humor you've got. Word salads. You know what I mean? But I was, I haven't heard that album for a fucking long time, and good reason too, because I've heard it before and I don't want to hear it again. You know what I mean? I think it's crap. I think it's crap, and the only song that's on there was half these mind games. So I've just got to get this out of my system, so I'm not reading any of the comments at the moment. Yeah, so it's all really bad, and like I said, um, what I will say to you is this album is worth £1.99. Is worth 1.99. It's not worth any more than that. It's not Imagine. Not that Imagine's any fucking good either. But we're talking about John Lennon's best album, which is apparently Imagine. I think we'll all agree with that. And that's this is just a cheap rip-off of, like, I don't know where I'm going. I've lost my way. I'm not sure. I'm just going to get cheap backing singers. I'm still on Apple. I've got a few quid. Let's do it. This was before he got dropped by all record companies. He was dropped by EMI. EMI didn't want him back. The next time you saw John Lennon was on a really cheap, ghastly record label called Geffen. And the only reason why he was taken on, and put yourself in Geffen's position, nobody wanted to give him a contract in 1980. And Geffen said, "Hey, I want Yoko. I want Yoko." And you know why he said that? Because, hey, look, I can scrape a few quid off the fucker. You know what I mean? And that was it. It was cheap. John Lennon's last album was cheap. He was unwanted. He was unloved. He'd served his purpose. He'd flip flopped all through the early 70s and made a complete cunt of himself. He was therefore hiding in the Dakota, thought he could reinvent himself as some sort of, he didn't quite work out what he was reinventing himself at. But all I can say, it was a fucking good thing he got shot, because it would have been embarrassing. It never would have happened, uh, or else he would have been on stage wearing a fucking wig like that evil bastard on Love and Mercy. You know what I mean? Would have looked ridiculous. So all I'm saying to you, before you go out and buy this, bear in mind, and I know, forgetting the reissue and the remastering of All Things Must Pass and the disappointment of the little tiny box set you got. But if you paid out good money, very good money, you could have got that crate, and you could have had a better looking album and everything, decent, a regular size album. And all I can say is, to some, not to all, because I personally think the best Beatles solo album is Band on the Run. It's just, I think it's a no brainer. But this is somewhere near the bottom. You know, we're talking 70s near the bottom, not fucking 80s, 90s, because I mean, we it's a bottomless pit, isn't it? But all I'll say is that this is a fucking waste of money. It's a substandard album. They're trying to make double because they couldn't fuck it. They didn't have the guts or the nerve to release sometime in New York City. And if that word nigger hadn't been put in there, they would have released it because they would have said, "Oh, whatever Angela Davis has done is perfectly all right." You know what I mean? Oh, the IRA, perfectly all right, wonderful. But no, they said the word nigger in there, and obviously, it was a stupid thing to do. It was ignorant. It was. It's totally against the grain of what's happening in this day and age. Not that I agree that censorship should apply, but it's there, and you can't go around saying, "Oh, John Lennon, Mr. Flowery, wonderful," because he's not, is he? He's just all he was doing was saying, "Oh, this is populist. Let's go with this. That's populist. Oh, Yoko said this. Let's write a song about it." No, it didn't quite work out as well as it should have done, did it? But this is the final turd on top of the cake because, like I said, all things must pass. You could say it could have got a star treatment, like Sergeant Pepper should have got a star treatment as a box. But when you're talking about box sets with wildlife and shit like that, and it's next they'll do a rock and roll box set, and it's crap. It's a shit album. It's John Lennon at the bottom of his career. That's why he fucked off for 5 years because he had nothing left in him. Anyway, let's just read a couple of these before we. I've got to go back to work any second now. Having a little break here, but it's like I said. If you're gonna buy it, you're stupid. Now is your top chance to go and listen to the original album, whether it's the MFP one or whether it's the Apple one, and listen to those tracks and say to yourself, do I want to spend £80 or $100 on each of these fucking songs? Probably not. Probably not. Anyway, what we got here? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, this is the whole thing. I mean, uh, I don't particularly like Ram. I think it's a messy album, but uh, I've never heard such good, expensive brass on, as you call it in America. Oh no, we call it in England brass. But the horns are really good on Ram. It's expensive. You can tell they've put money into it. I mean, the orchestration on Ram is far better than the quality of the songs on Ram, put it that way. But that's what I expect on every solo Beatle album, bar Ringo, because he ain't got the fucking money to do it. But Mind Games, it's got all this fucking really cheap backing singers, and man, you could have bought them from Butlins. They were so cheap, and they sound cheap. You know what I mean? Like I said, Pink Floyd would never dream of getting such cheapy fucking 10 pence, 10p fucking Poundland singers involved. So there you go. And I know Pumping Vinyl, you're not going to buy this. You're not going to buy it. And we know, Marty, you're not going to buy it. Well, yeah, Dolan was accurate, but I was worried that if Beetle Babe hadn't have said that she didn't want it, it was a rip-off, he might have said, "Yeah, well, I just want to buy it for the demos and the outtakes." Now, I don't want to hear that excuse from any of you because do you know what they're doing? This isn't demos and outtakes. It's just, oh, we're going to use the mal and we're going to strip down the drums. We're going to strip down the guitar. And this is what you lot have got to look forward to in the next 10 years while they strip apart little Beatles songs so you can say, oh, here we go. This is I Don't Care Too Much for Money. Money Don't Buy Me Love. And it's just. No, you don't want to fucking pay money for that, do you? All right. Anyway, let's just have a quick look at what you've all said. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I never forget the day that I got fucking Double Fantasy and how angry I was about it. Yes, I was fucking angry. You know why? Because Yoko was on half of it. And I didn't fucking pay for Yoko. I paid for John Lennon. Do you know what I mean? It's that simple. It's like Wings at the Speed of Sound. I didn't pay for all them other fucking ugly fuckers singing. I paid for Paul McCartney. All right? Simple. Who's that? Who's that out there? And that's all I've got to say. It's not a review. It's just like saying, look, fucking get a grip, you lot, because this has just got so stupid now. And I didn't think that the Lennon camp were that bad. I thought, you know, they'd be a bit generous. Andrew Dixon will not buy this box set, but if he gets sent it, he'll reluctantly review it. But I just don't think he fucking wants it. So Sean and Sean and Yoko, Andrew Dixon, stop using him because he's a Paul McCartney fan. Yeah, he likes Macca. He loves Macca. He doesn't like John Lennon. Fucking getting his little willy out in front of the two virgins. Nah, fuck John Lennon. Fuck it all. Anyway, goodbye. See you later.